Papa John's.
Welcome back to 3 Plus U. We are always glad when our good friend Mark Hite is here in person.
You know, I love...
Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be out here with you, be safe,
Yes.
and at the same time talk to all the folks at home in person, not on a Zoom or
Right.
yeah.
I'm so sick of Zoom, and God bless them. I hope the stock's still good, but I'm sick of Zooming. Mark Hite team with Keller Williams, and we're going to talk about something that I've been seeing advertised and promoted a lot. It's something that I've always been wary of, but you're saying a lot of people are doing this. Forbearance, and how a good local lender can help people that are in a forbearance nightmare, so to speak. Talk about it.
You know, it seemed like a dream come true back in April and May when the federal government encouraged lenders to offer forbearances to homeowners, giving them 3 months or in some cases 6 months to not make their payment, but yet it wouldn't ding their credit. They would not be harmed, was how it was presented and perceived. And it seemed like a great deal. However, sometimes when things seem too good to be true, they are. And that's what we're finding day in, day out now, David, is people are in a mess.
Well, and the big problem is, and talk about the difference between forbearance and forgiveness.
Right. It is not forgiveness. A forbearance allows you to skip these payments. The obligation is still there, but determining when you make that payment up is really what's messing some folks up, because my next appointment today is a lady who took her forbearance. She skipped her 3 months. It seemed awesome. She used the money to do other things, and now then October 1st, she has 4 months payments due.
So is that typically how it works? Immediately after the forbearance, all of that money is due? Is it added onto the end of the loan? Is it sprinkled throughout so that it's more manageable? How does it work?
That's the confusion, because people thought, it's forgiven. No, it's not forgiven. Number two, as in my case, my bank advised me of my options, and mine's added on the end of the payment. So didn't make a payment April, May, and June. So those 3 payments are added on the end. Now, interest still accrued. So that's the best scenario. But what we learned in a deal last week was a family had been through forbearance, had just come out, and they wanted to sell their house and get a better house. So it looked great. Their credit was good. But guess what happened? Their home has been in forbearance, so they technically haven't made a payment in 3 months.
Wow.
So suddenly they're 90 days behind and literally could not get a new loan.
So even though it doesn't officially hurt your credit score's not going to go down.
Right.
A bank is still looking at that.
You have not made a payment in 3 months.
Wow. Okay.
And so that poor family, we got them a great deal on their home, and now they had to go into rental because they cannot get a mortgage right now.
And when you say they had to go into rental, they can't get a mortgage, that's for only a certain period of time. How long is that forbearance with you? When does it go away? When does the bank not look at that anymore?
Well, what needs to take place is you need to finish up your forbearance period, and then you need to make 3 consecutive months of payments to show that you are whole. Or like a VA customer we had this last week, he had to make all 3 of those payments right at the same time in order to bring his mortgage up to date so that we could close on his new house.
And Mark, you were telling me before we came on air that in some cases people aren't even offered the choice. It's just kind of done through their loan.
I met with one gentleman who did not know that he had been moved into forbearance. The other place we've seen it is in student loans. I have a young lady, a good millennial, who had no idea that her student loans were in forbearance. She had continued to schedule and make her payments, but they were showing them as forbeared.
Yeah, now, and so something, because I'm a little familiar with that because my daughters are going through that. They offered forbearance, but they also offer interest forgiveness, so they are canceling interest, I think, through October or something like that. So, but there is a difference there, and the forbearance, I can't stress enough, just like you said, it is forgiveness. Now, if people are in that kind of a mess, that forbearance black hole, if you will, local lender like yourself, how can you help?
You need to start local. You need to call somebody that's experienced as well, because, I mean, there's thousands of realtors, but not everybody's done the research. So call an experienced realtor who will connect you with a local loan originator who can help you sort this out. Don't talk to somebody in a cube that's 1,000 miles away. Talk to somebody you can sit down at the table with and get good advice on how to fix this mess if you're in it.
And when you're hanging out with Mark Hite, you're his #1 priority, I can promise you that. Mark, thank you for coming in. If people do have more questions about just the forbearance issue, how you specifically, because I know you are a great local lender here in Chattanooga, how can you how can people get in touch with you?
Call me, 423-667 9385. Almost
You just hit
forgot
the
it.
button.
Yeah, you just hit the button. Mark Hite Homes, and we will connect you with a local lending professional, or we'll be able to sort out with you if we need to mitigate something with your lender.
And I called you a local lender, a local realtor. My apologies. Mark
It's all
Hite,
good.
we love when you come in. Thank you, my
Thank you.
friend.
Cheers.
We'll take a quick break, have more 3 Plus You right after this.